Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy. I thought I'd do a quick little walk around of the 2020 Subaru Outback, which is one of my favorite vehicles and the favorite vehicle of a lot of people because it is just a tough, rugged little car, and actually not so little anymore because it's now based on the Legacy platform rather than the Impreza platform. So it's a mid-sized car verging on full-size, but to finish my thought, the reason people like it so much, of course, is because it's an incredibly tough little vehicle that will go just about anywhere that a four-wheel drive truck will go without being a four-wheel drive truck. Not that there's anything wrong with trucks, I've got one myself, but it's nice to have a car that can do truck-like stuff without having to be a truck. Now, the one deficit that the Outback has had for some time is a lack of a lot of power. It would get you just about anywhere, just not very quickly. Subaru has rectified that for the new model year. You can get it now with an optional turbocharged engine that's just a hair less powerful than the standard engine in the WRX, which is their hot roddy little rally car. I'm going to pop the hood here and show you their new little engine and also show you something that is very cool about this engine. Bear with me a minute. Okay. Of course I can't find, well, let me get the prop rod. This is what happens when you haven't got an intern to help you with this stuff. Most new cars have these prop rods rather than hinges. It's a way to save weight, and of course the hoods themselves are very light. But at any rate, have a look at this engine, and there's the intercooler, and look, there's the air induction system for the intercooler, very subtly built into the hood of the vehicle, so you don't have a big mondo honking 747 style air intake like on the WRX and the STI. To let every cop in town know what you're up to. This thing looks like a family mobile, but it's got this, I can't remember the exact number, but nearly 270 horsepower turbocharged engine now. You can still get it with the standard engine, which is about 170 or 180 horsepower, and perfectly adequate for everyday poking around. But if you want to get where you're going faster and not just get there, this is the one you're going to want to look at. And while we're looking at it, let's look at some other things that are pretty cool. Subaru is very thoughtful about where they place things like the oil filter. So here you go. You don't even need tools to change the oil filter on this car. You can just get your hand on it and twist it off probably, and certainly you can put it on without any tools and without having to even get underneath the car. Of course, you still have to get underneath the car to drain the oil, but nonetheless, that's a really small but really important thing. A number of manufacturers seem to not give a damn at all about making their vehicles easy to service for the average person, and they'll do things like mount the oil filter in between the V of a V8, or they'll mount it on the side of the engine in a completely inaccessible place that you need to have a lot of determination and oftentimes special tools to get at that make it such a pain that most people will simply just go ahead and take the vehicle to the dealer, which may be exactly why they do that. But Subaru doesn't do that, and I really laud them for that. And something that's kind of cool, look at that. If you look underneath the oil filter, you'll see there's a little heat dissipator there. It's a series of discs, if you will. I forgot what they call it. I haven't had enough coffee this morning, but anyway, it's a way to keep the oil cool, which is important because this is a turboed and intercooled engine. So let me close up the hood and show you the inside here before I finish this video. Also very nicely executed interior. People who are into tech stuff will dig. Oh, by the way, look at the driver safety eye monitoring system. It's scanning my eye and my face right now to identify me as a driver, but that's not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you the nice big LCD touchscreen that Subaru now offers in this vehicle. Get the lawyer caveats out of the way. So it's the thing that's nice about these big screens is that they're easier to use while you're driving. I'm personally not a huge fan of touch screens generally, but I'm really not a fan of the little rinky-dinky ones that are hard to use while you're driving, because of course your hand's moving, the car's moving, and you're trying to find that tiny little button somewhere or trying to read it, and so you're squinting and looking over at it. This one's a lot easier to read and it's a lot easier to use. Look at the nice big, for example, the icons. There's the home, vehicle, user profiles, and all of that. And then Subaru gives you secondary manual interfaces for things like the temperature, the radio volume, tuning, and so on. I have a separate rant about the eye of Ra. You can see the little eye of Ra there in the instrument cluster. That's part of their EyeSight suite of safety features. And essentially the car scans you when you come in, and then I found that if you glance to the left or glance to the right for more than about 3 seconds, you'll get this little warning thing that pops up in the dash that demands that you keep your eyes on the road. And that's touted as a safety feature. I don't know about that, because I like to maintain situational awareness, and glancing to the left or the right, you can do that and keep your eyes on the road and be aware of what's coming at you from either direction. So frankly, I'm very ambivalent about this system. I think it kind of makes you keep your eyes focused ahead or get pestered by this chattering little warning thing. That's the only thing I don't like about the Outback. Otherwise, this thing's a home run, a really neat vehicle, and now a really fast vehicle too, which makes it double plus good. So anyway, my review's up at epautos.com, and should have some other good stuff there shortly. And thanks as always to everybody for viewing, listening. Please visit the site, and if you got any questions for me, just hit the Ask Eric button and I will get to them as soon as I possibly can. So we'll catch up with you again soon.